Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Welcome back to another First Cut Live. We are here for a very special 2 million views party. I am here with the full crew in the house. RB3 and Sabrina are both here to break everything we have done in the past down. How are you guys feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Hopefully, we have some fun stuff. I have some clips. Getting a little sentimental. You know what I mean? Getting a little sentimental. I love it.
Yeah, I love going back into the past. I love looking at, all the things we've done together because I know it's been years now. It's been 5 years. And of course, like I've been here on and off. But like looking at especially 2019, 2020, 2021, all the things we did together, like I'm very excited to see what RB3 has in store for us.
Yeah, obviously, we've been doing this channel for a minute. Been a crew together for a hot minute. RB3, I honestly have no idea what you have planned for us. I have no idea what you wanted to hit on or talk about. I usually have notes up. I was like, let's talk about D23 and stuff.
Well, if
and you're like, nah,
D20,
I got it.
Well, no. I mean, let's talk. I mean, if you want to talk about D23, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Were any of you guys there?
No.
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 Yeah, a lot of leaks. I saw most of them. I skipped the last one because I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I watching this? I usually avoid watching the leaks. The one that I skipped and I went out of my way, it was Daredevil. I just did not want to see what they were doing with Daredevil. But for the most part, everything else I saw, Avatar, Fire and Ash, we here, baby. We're doing it.
Yeah.
RB3, you and I, man, we're back.
Yeah, it's
Fire and Ash.
It's up. I'm definitely super hyped about that one for sure. James Cameron, can do no wrong in my eyes. So it's gonna be super fire.
Sabrina, what was the stand-up for you?
If I'm being fully honest, I didn't even look at a single piece of anything that popped up. Yeah, I mean, I was in New York. I was on vacation, so I just didn't pay attention to anything. And then since I've been home, I've just been trying to chill for a second. So I've been kind of staying off like the Twitter discourse, especially the stuff like with It Ends With Us and, all the conversations surrounding that and like 50 other million things right now. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to chill. I'm going to rewatch the Alien films and that's it. Because you saw Alien Romulus, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I was at the premiere. It was good. It was really good. I thought it was a good time. It definitely is not. I'm a Prometheus Covenant defender. Like I'm here in the front lines with my swords out and my shield on, and I love those two films, and I think they have a lot to say. And this one has less to say, and maybe that's why I was like, oh, I wish it had a little bit more. But I also feel like there's just a lot. I have a lot of thoughts. I do feel like the runtime also hurts it. I definitely could feel the pace just increasing at a point where they're just like, yo, we're running out of time. Just get to the point. And then it just kind of ends, which I was like, all right, I definitely wish they could have given it 10 more minutes. But then again, that's my whole Disney criticism that I've been saying for the past, I don't know, 45 years now. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was a good time. Definitely a lot of Alien fans there, which was cool because I love the Alien franchise. It's one of my favorites. So yeah. For sure.
Now,
are you guys looking forward to it or watching it?
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm seeing it Thursday. I know Sabrina, you're a big fan of Kaylee Spaney. Right. Yeah. How is she in the movie, Andres?
She's good. She's a great lead. Definitely had the most to do along with David Johnson, who plays Andy, who's the synthetic in the film. I don't think that's a spoiler. That's been said a million times. Those two definitely hold the movie together for sure. I definitely would feel that.
Okay. Because, yeah, I know, like, she was such a standout in films like Priscilla. Even the Craft remake that she was in, like, she was really fantastic, even though the film was just kind of whatever. But I'm always happy to see her in anything.
Yeah. Other than Fire and Ash, I feel like that's kind of it for D23 news.
I personally
go ahead,
was very excited to see an Ironheart trailer. I'm glad that
I didn't
still
see it.
Exist.
Yes,
I was just very worried they just was going to throw it out completely. Like, just
me too.
It. But they have it still going. I love, I'm a big Anthony Ramos fan. I want to say I'm a Anthony Ramos like stan, but I'm a big fan of dude. You know what I mean? I heard in real life he's an a-hole, so I take that for what it was worth. But I do think as a performer, man, I love Twisters. People say he's a bad actor. I loved it. I loved the cheesy dialogue he had in that movie. In the Heist was fun and fire. A lot of Anthony Ramos stuff. I'm really big. Even with that one GameStop movie he did last year that like nobody watched. I thought that was a fun one too. So, big Anthony Ramos fan here, and just very excited to see that Ironheart.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot. Ironheart and/or season 2. I know they announced Daredevil and showed that. I feel like I'm missing a few things. There was a ton of sequels announced. Incredibles 3. I already mentioned Fire and Ash. A bunch of like sequels that I really did feel like, and I'm the only one who felt this. Like Disney is just like, we're giving you sequels and we're giving you sequels. Like that's kind of it when it comes to movie news. Oh, Tron was another one. Yeah, a lot of stuff that really didn't inspire me or I don't know, invigorate me like Fire and Ash did.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come back to it.
Look, I mean, there was rumors that there was going to be a lot of fire set stuff for this one, so I already kind of figured it was going to be that kind of situation. I wonder if there's going to be a time jump. Like there's speculation that there might be a time jump in this movie, which is also interesting. But yeah, I'm very. It's either in this one or the fourth one. Oops, sorry, that should be muted. And sorry, just one more thing about Alien Romulus. I'm very excited to see my brother from. What was you recommended a romantic comedy earlier this year, Sabrina. That was like British.
Was it Rye Lane?
Rye Lane, yeah. And then the dude who's in Rye Lane is also in Alien Romulus, right? Like
that's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what you.
David Johnson is his name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm very excited to see him come through for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when all of you guys, everybody that's watching right now, after you see Alien Romulus, if you haven't watched Rye Lane, go back and check that one out because he's incredible.
He definitely. I was talking about this the other day. He stole the movie. I really do feel like he took that movie from Kaylee and just took it from everyone. Definitely the best part of the movie, in my opinion. So, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
we have a super chat.
Oh, hey, Wiley. Hey, Wiley, what's up, Wiley? Okay, you want to read it, Andres? You want to read it?
Yeah, Wiley OFC says, I remember when this first started, day one fan here. It's funny, I was in high school when this started. I am now a college grad with 2 internships done. Crazy, so happy for you guys. Thank you, Wiley.
Hey,
Damn,
Wiley.
High school. Thank you.
Crazy.
That's what's up.
College grad. Makes me feel old, man.
I was going to say, what year did you guys start? Was it 2017?
We started the meaning of in 2017. That was on the Schmoes Know podcast network at the time.
Wow. It was what's his face? Who was the director again? It's the guy who did Requiem for a Dream, Mother.
Aronofsky.
Yeah, that was episode 1. And then
a heavy one to start off.
Yeah, and then Denis Villeneuve was our episode 2, so it was we dove right in,
And that was when we watched all the films.
Yeah,
don't do that anymore, or we didn't do that. We stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And I watched all of Aronofsky's films, and it gave me a headache. And then I watched all of Denny's films, and it gave me a headache.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of heavy shit.
Yeah.
It was hard. I watched one movie every day. It was a lot.
Yeah.
I remember the one that broke me, and I think we talked about it afterwards, where like we need to maybe do some of these in parts, was Charlie Kaufman. And Charlie Kaufman's one of my favorite writers, one of my favorite filmmakers. I love his stuff. But I think watching everything back to back in a span of 3 days truly broke my brain. Like I was like, nothing's real. I had to coast through life for like a day trying to like figure stuff out and like having interactions with everybody. And I'm like, I feel like I'm in Synecdoche, New York.
Yeah.
But we brought you on. We did First Cut, and then we brought you on, Sabrina. I want to say 2019.
2019,
right?
We started the channel in 2019. The first day of 2019. It was January 1st, 2019. Yeah.
Wow.
And then we posted the meaning of it was like the best of list for the previous year. But the reason we started the First Cut YouTube channel is because they gave us the tip like that they were gonna not distribute our podcast. So by the way, okay, so people who don't know, started on SK Podcast, that no longer existed. I ended up getting swallowed up by Collider Video, and then we ended up becoming distributed through Collider Podcast. So then once Collider Podcast, through there, like we was on their network. I forgot even we had to upload through their special thing. It was weird, but we were on the same feed as everybody else. But yeah, we had but then they gave us the tip like, yo, we're not gonna do your video on YouTube anymore. We'll still keep the podcast. Or it was one or the other. It was like we'll keep doing your audio, but we won't do the video, or we'll do the video. I forgot what it was. Anyway, that was the reason why we started First Cut, was to just have our own channel, just in case, like, if they like permanently cancel us, like, let's have a channel. So yeah, that was we started that, and then we brought you on, Sabrina, in October 2019. The very first appearance was on episode 101, The Meaning of Steven Soderbergh. That appearance was so trash because I accidentally had the camera in the wrong position. So your face was like cut off, like for.
Well, okay, so let's set the scene. When RB3 asked me to come on originally, like because we were already friends for a little bit, we were just chatting about stuff. And I had never done anything on camera. I had never done anything like this. So it was such a huge step where I told him, like, I will help you guys out with like social media, just helping like manage the channel, but I don't want to be on it. Like I'm just not, it's so outside of my comfort zone. And then the first episode, I'm in the background because I'm kind of just like watching you guys. I'm getting a feel of the show and everything. And I think what it was is that you guys were trying to think of the Channing Tatum movie, The Vow, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And you guys couldn't figure out the title. And then I was in the background and I was like, The Vow, guys. And then you're like, hey, come on. And then I just kind of pop in and I'm like, The Vow. And then because the camera was never supposed to be positioned in the first place, so it's not on you. Yeah. I think whenever I was on it for the rest of the time, I think I stayed on for the rest of the episode. But but I was like barely in it, which is what I wanted. Which is
in the perfect way to set up the first clip that I have of that moment. That moment of Sabrina's introduction in the in the Steven Soderbergh episode, but your official, also your introduction in the Bongju episode 104. Here goes that clip right now.
But yeah, Sabrina, thank you so much for withstanding 2 hours of us. You can come over here. Did you fall asleep at any moment?
No, it was great to be here. You guys did great. I love hearing you guys talk about everything, like your passion and everything.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great.
I feel like I apologize for everything because I'm just like, bro, I don't know. I feel like I go too hard.
No, I love it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Glad to be here. So on Twitter, Sabrina X Monica, on Instagram as well.
Great. And you can find RB3 at Director RB3. You can find me at Squad Leader Ace. So we can follow each other and hang out more. Thank you for being here. Thank you for
thank you guys so much for having me.
Like withstanding our monologues and rants, and especially me. For anyone who didn't know, Sabrina is a new addition to our team. She's a part of our social media manager, social media guru, as I like to say.
I'm glad to be here. I'm Sabrina, and I'm currently running the brand new socials. So now you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FirstCutTMO. So it's on both platforms, and we just thought it'd be a great idea to kind of start these accounts to engage with you guys, like get some feedback. So if you guys have any, like, let's engage. Again, the accounts are at FirstCutTMO.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, so far.
They're down there too.
Yeah. So if I was talking to you off camera, I'm loving everything so far. And it's just
really
so much fun.
I love it so
and
far.
I just love pushing the share button. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first introduction of Sabrina to the channel. That was fun. I mean, it was a very funny random thing. Andres was like, definitely it was like Andres initiating it too, which is funny. Like, hey, just come on. But no, it was great, and history was made, and we're very, very happy that you joined us, Sabrina. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm grateful for you guys because honestly, again, like I said, so outside of my comfort zone. You can even see when I'm sitting there, like I'm kind of like shy and I'm like, okay, thank you guys. Like it's so much fun to be here. All right, bye. And starting this with you guys opened up kind of the doors for me in so many different ways. Of course, like joining you guys with Geeks of Color. I know we have our page over on that site. We do a lot over there, and honestly, just so many other memories. And like I said at the top of the show, I think 2019 and 2020 before the pandemic, even when we did have our one pandemic episode together, which was really fun. I just like miss watching movies with you guys. Like even outside of the show, even outside being on camera, like I loved to just sit with you guys and just hang out, get some food, go see a film, and talk about it the whole way home.
Yeah, no.
Obviously we appreciate you coming on. Go ahead, RB3.
No, yeah, you should go on, Jesse. Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously we appreciate you coming on. I think that was hysterical. I think it's so funny. That was when we like would go to war too, and that's why I apologize so much, because RB3 and I would scream at each other.
Really?
We stopped doing that, but we used to do it.
Yeah, we did.
I'd be sitting there early on, like few episodes in or whatever. I'd be like, no, like I like divorced parents. Like I'm like, no, you guys are both right. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was a cool idea. It's a lot. That was so intense.
It was potting. That was peak potting right there. That was peak potting.
Yeah, no, it's like we're more mellow out for sure. I think we were, but
yeah.
You know what I think helps? I think it helps to be over Zoom and not in person, because when we're in person, like it's so much easier for us to like yell at each other. And yeah, the passion is like crazy. And I know, because we've argued, like even the first Cuddy Awards, like I remember there were certain ones that I was like standing my ground. And I'm like, you guys cannot take this one from me. Adam Driver will be Best Actor.
Yeah, the Cuddy Awards. Yeah. Oh, man, I should have got a clip from that. There's so many good Cuddy Award moments, you know.
I know we need to bring that back for next year.
Right.
Let us know what clips you have next, RB3, just so the flow of the show is a little more organized, at least on my part, because I truly don't know. But it was a really good time, Sabrina. Obviously, you coming on has been one of the best decisions we made. And yeah, that was an era of like movies started to really pop off that time. I know Knives Out was there, Joker was there around that time period. So it was a big emphasis on independent film and stuff like that, which is really
huge cool. Movie year. We were talking about like 1917. I know our Portrait of a Lady on Fire review at the time was like our biggest review, which is so fun that it's like Celine Sciamma. Yeah, I'm like, that's amazing that a film like that becomes like more popular than say like, you know, when we talk about Star Wars. No offense.
But then, you know,
none taken.
I will say that the night after Rise of Skywalker came out and we all saw it together in the ArcLight parking lot.
Yeah, that was cool.
Review out there, like that was some fun stuff, you know.
Y'all saw me going nuts that night. Stone cold, so nuts.
You were very
absolutely
defender. Yeah, you're the first like Rise of Skywalker defender for sure.
Oh, bro, I went Braveheart that night. I went full like look at these enemies in front of you. We shall attack. Rise up and defend this film with me. It was a lot, but I had to. Someone had to do it. So
right.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, and then and that's why, you know, yeah, there was a lot of good times, you know, and I think like Sabrina was saying, yeah, when we were in person, 2019, pre-pandemic was just like the funnest part and funnest times. And then yeah, we you know, pandemic did shut things down. We did have one podcast. We squeezed in one pod right after the shutdown. That was hysterical. And yeah, I just wanted to show play this next clip as like some of the predictions that we had for the future of the industry back during right before things popped off during the COVID. And I will say right off top, I had some horrible takes. I had a terrible take, but it's okay because you learn for the better. But yeah, this is our next clip from that episode.
I think this is going to lead to like a restructuring. I think this is going to lead to like new ideas. I think if all the creatives out there are like, what, listen to this podcast, this is more than the perfect opportunity while you're off of work. Just take your time, like write some movies, like watch. And when this coronavirus thing is over, they're going to be looking for content. Like they're going to be looking for stuff.
So
you write those scripts, you get those storyboards ready, you get those movies ready. So by the time this is over, there's a new wave of cinema that's going to be coming our way. So I think that's the perfect opportunity. instead of just wasting your time inside for 2 months and doing whatever.
I'm shocked at your optimism, man. Because what I'm seeing is loss of jobs. I'm seeing mergers. I'm seeing studios that are going to go under and studios that are going to buy up IP and property. Paramount, bye-bye Paramount. Now it's going to be bought out by Warner Brothers, bought out by Disney, bought out by another company. Just like Disney bought Fox, Disney's going to be like, these companies are going out. No one's having jobs. I can just buy the IP, go back home to wherever you're, Louisiana or whatever, all these people that work. And now I have this property, and now I control the movies, I control the industry, I make the movies. And that's kind of, I think it's a dark future in the sense of theaters, right?
Yeah.
Because all we're talking about is theaters. We haven't gone to streaming yet, which I want to focus more on the second half.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, already in theaters, as I said, with like stuff like Onward, those are getting the box office money because theaters are expensive. Each ticket is expensive. If you're going with an entire family, you're spending like $120. So what you want to go see are the bigger films, not the smaller ones. Unfortunately, even though I personally choose the smaller ones, that's just not what the general movie-going audience does. So it makes sense. Like, it's not like, it's kind of almost inevitable at this point, and then something like this is kind of a catalyst that is going to bring it to that point.
Yeah,
Damn.
Right. So suffice to say, I was completely off. I said it was gonna last 2 months, and I thought it was gonna be over. Wrong.
You did say that.
Yeah. So a lot of bad things, but Andres nailing the Paramount point. I mean, come on, you even caught the studio that was gonna float over. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, I saw it coming. I really did. And this is so funny to hear this after Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, that's the epitome of examples of just like the most studio movie to every studio movie I think I've ever seen. And I don't know, probably I've ever seen. But yeah, Sabrina.
Well, I was going to say, in your defense, RB3, I'm pretty sure at that time, if I can remember, we're both like recent college graduates. We're bright-eyed. We have a lust for life still. We haven't been weathered by everything. And so now we're in a much different place. But I mean, even the thing I said, unfortunately, about like theaters, that's been true for a very long time, but I feel like it's the most true it's ever been. And we see that reflected a lot, like Inside Out 2 has been such a sleeper hit, like for families. And something like that is kind of the exception versus like, I don't even know how Despicable Me is doing. Maybe it's doing great. I don't know. I haven't been like paying as much attention to her. I guess I just haven't been seeing as much. But yeah, it is extremely expensive. A lot of my friends that are outside of us, outside of our world, they go maybe once a year. And then also after this, I ended up taking a trip with Brandon to visit his family in Colorado. And we went to go see, I believe it was F9 with them. And we had to drive an hour and a half to go to a theater too. So, because like so many theaters had shut down where they weren't near any major city. They were a few hours away from Denver. Finding like the first place that you can actually just sit down and enjoy one, especially compared to like streaming movies right now. Like I went to a streaming film premiere last night with Jackpot, and that's like the most streaming movie to ever be streamed. Like truly, it's not bad by any means. I actually think it's kind of fun, when we put it up against some of those movies that seem like they're fake on streaming, like a Ghosted or any of that not Red Notice, but whatever the one with like Chris Evans, Gal Gadot, like any of those types of things. Those are like fake movies that you would see in a movie trailer in a movie that they're going to see the movies in a movie. Like it's so meta. Jackpot was pretty fun though, like not perfect by any means, but that's like a good example of what a streamer movie should be. And it's like an interesting idea versus like the Ghosted. So again, Andres was already, he was on point. He was on the money. We had optimism.
Yeah, you both, but you was dead on the money with the theaters, and Dress was dead on the money with the Paramount, with just the whole situation. And I was dead wrong about the writing thing. I should have told people, yo, change your major, do computer science, because there's gonna be COVID and there's gonna be a strike and ain't nothing gonna work. So just
seriously,
that was 2 levels of bad there. But yeah, that was definitely I feel like that was one of my favorite episodes too, because it was on Dress's birthday. we're celebrating that day too.
Yeah.
It was. What a wild time for a birthday, that COVID time. And then afterwards we found out, like, I remember you predicting COVID too, right? RB3, you were like, this is gonna last like 2 weeks.
You did.
Yeah, Again, I don't know. I don't know.
Like weeks prior, I remember we were doing SEN in person. I remember you were showing up with a mask and stuff, like way ahead of time. You were ahead of the curve on that. Okay.
It was literally just for a joke though. Like I literally did it to make fun of COVID people. Like, and that's how stupid I am. Like, that's how like dumb I was. Like at the time, I was like, nah, forget COVID. I'm coming with a mask to like clown y'all. But no, that was right. You know, I should.
In our defense, we were like 21, 22 years old. Or like 22. We were 20, children.
Yeah, no, we didn't know. And then following that one up, I don't know if y'all had any other fun moments y'all wanted to highlight too. Just from the meaning of it.
No, I mean, if you have one, I say we get to it. I
just have a couple more clips. These are just a couple of our like most famous moments in First Cut history, particularly our interview with Joshua Trank. You know what I mean? A young Fantastic Four director who unfortunately we have not heard from since our interview. So
I have.
Oh, you have? Oh, really? So he's alive. Yeah. So okay.
He is. He's doing good.
Oh, is he good? Yeah. Okay. Is he still directing or?
He's working on some projects.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Because I pulled up this clip and again I was worried, like, dang, do we blackball him? Like, do we get him knocked out of Hollywood? Like, is that us?
I know. That was crazy. Like, Fox News posted about us.
Yeah.
And then everybody kept saying we were, like, Geeks of Color, but we were like, no, we're First Cut, actually. Like, let's send them to the right place. Because, that's when we were partnering with Geeks of Color at the time.
Right. Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it was a weird time, and I definitely...
It was weird.
Because it wasn't just Fox News. It was like Variety had reported on it.
Yeah.
Entertainment Weekly. Like, a lot of, like, legit people had reported on it. So it was, like, crazy moments.
And again, we did give him the option at the time just to have a little sneak peek into it all. We were like, we can easily cut this out. You let us know what you're comfortable with. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not going to air out like people's business like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Josh Trank. I am rooting for him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm always rooting for him. I even thought Capone was okay. But just to shout out again that fantastic moment, no pun intended. Here's the clip from that interview.
And when you and Michael B. Jordan made the decision to do the Johnny Storm collaboration, did you ever consider a Black woman to play a sister, for example?
There was a lot of controversial conversations that were had behind the scenes on that. I was mostly interested in a Black Sue Storm and a Black Johnny Storm and a Black Franklin Storm. But I also, when you're dealing with a studio on a massive movie like that, everybody wants to keep an open mind to like who the big stars are going to be. Like, well, maybe it'll be like Margot Robbie or something like that. But when it came down to it, I found a lot of pretty heavy pushback on casting a Black woman in that role. When I look back on that, I should have just walked when that sort of realization hit me. And I feel like embarrassed about that I didn't, just out of principle, because those aren't the values that I stand for in my own life, and those weren't the values then or ever for me, because I'm somebody who always talks about just standing up for what I believe in, even if it means burning my career out. And I feel bad that I didn't take it to the mat with that issue. Yeah, I feel like I failed in that regard, but that was a weird, unfortunate situation. I don't know how else to put it, but
yeah. Well, it's no fault of your own. You don't have to feel sorry about it or anything. I mean, we all four of us know exactly how this industry goes, and the kind of pressure that comes with with working and networks and all that kind of stuff. So it's not even.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like at the end of the day, I know me, and especially back then, I was like a pit bull about things. But it's something I feel more disappointed in. If there's one regret that I have, and I've talked a lot about not having any regrets, it's that one issue.
Yeah. So, Mr. Josh Trank. I mean, again, I meant to cut out that last part while I was caping for him. But yeah, I did feel bad when he was saying it, because he did legitimately feel guilty about the whole not casting a black woman to play Sue Storm. He did feel guilty about it. So it's interesting thinking about the moment we was in, peak Black Lives Matter, like peak just all kinds of social discussion. I'm personally glad that he came on our platform and felt comfortable enough to disclose that, But what were your guys' takeaway looking at that all these years later?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Like, when he made Chronicle, that was such a huge hit from a filmmaker that, was very, very young. And then right away, people were offering him all these properties. I know he was attached to Star Wars. He was like everything you could possibly dream of as like a young filmmaker. And so I think what I take away from that is just how this industry can, like the way you feel about it can change so quickly once you're in the mix of something that you don't have creative control over. Again, like it's not his fault. And it is cool that we got Michael B. Jordan at all, because Michael B. Jordan's like first big role, I believe, was Chronicle, like his first major one that kind of put him on the map. And you could tell in that film, like he's a star. And then he went on to do so many amazing things. So it was cool that we got him in this role in the first place.
Yeah, the foresight of, like you said, him looking out for Michael B. Jordan, because that was technically, it did come out before, Chronicle did technically come out before Fruitvale Station, which was, I feel like what made him like an A-lister kind of situation.
Yeah.
But that was, and I think Fantastic Four had so much promise. The idea of like the body horror, mixing with the superhero genre looked really appealing. But Fox at the time, they just didn't have a plan, and they were very, what kind of people run Fox, you know what I mean? But I mean, just seeing now what's happening with the new Fantastic Four cast, right? Like, which is they're all brilliant, but it's definitely also all kind of white passing. We know Pedro Pascal is Latino, of course, but he kind of can play both sides a little bit. So it's interesting that we kind of reverted back a little bit in this era. I don't know what you think, Andres.
Oh, 100%. We've talked about this off camera quite a bit. The fact we have people like Issa Rae speaking up about closures of certain divisions, certain movements and pushes in studios, and now studios are becoming more and more. I mean, I can talk about this for days, but are becoming more and more concerned about not offending bigots and not losing their, like, wanting to still have bigots give them money. And they really, really are becoming more and more afraid of that, which to me is so disappointing. But again, what a lot of people don't know, and I think a lot of people have said this, I know John Boyega said this a million times, the higher ups in Hollywood are not who you think. This is like the most money grabbing, racist, openly racist in their own time, in their free time, kind of people that you can possibly imagine. And they've always tried to hide that. And now to me, it's becoming more like, let's just be open about it. Let's just do an all white casting call. All, like, literally, like I've told you everything, like only whites casting call. Like, just if you're white, you can come in. If you're not, sorry. Like that's now becoming a thing. And it's like, no, it is, because they used to do, like, when it comes to superhero movies and stuff like that, they used to do open casting call. I talked about this with DC, and now it's just not happening. And I really do feel like that's disappointing, because again, I see animated shows and I see other properties do stories of Superman, and Lois is Korean, she's Asian, and Jimmy is a black dude. And there's other creative ways to like modernize these properties. And I feel like they're going out of their way to not modernize it and to make it more and more and more throwback to like the good old days of these were the people on your screen and only these people. And it's, I think it's bad. I think it's kind of bad. I don't know.
No, I mean, like you're very right, because even looking at like something outside of race and other representation on screen, it's like they want to make money, so they don't want to alienate their audience. There was a scene that was cut out in A Quiet Place Day One, which I actually really like that movie, and I don't even like the franchise that much. But Joseph Quinn's character is gay, and that's a scene that like where he openly is expressing the fact that he's gay versus it being like a very slight undertone, which we see time and time again. And that beautiful scene was cut for no reason. I just feel like it's to appease certain audiences, of course, not alienate anybody. But it's just kind of ridiculous, because it's like you should get on the wave of this, and we shouldn't have to care to cater to your bigotry, And yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, this new casting, the one that I love is Cousin. Honestly, like he's my number one cousin from The Bear, which I'm also glad that they didn't cast someone else in that role, because that's somebody who he's going to be, of course, CGI'd up for the whole film. So that would be very unfortunate if that one role was like, someone else. Yeah. Could you freaking imagine? So I like Pedro Pascal. I really, again, I wish they could have gone like a route of like Raul Coley or somebody really interesting that was like gunning for that. Because I feel like as much as I love Pedro, we see him everywhere. He has his hands in every franchise, in everything. And then, yeah, the Sue Storm, going back to what Josh Trank said, they were talking about like wanting to cast like a star. That just reminds me of that era where people thought like Kate Mara was going to be this like big star. So we saw her in a lot of things, because it's like that you didn't even get what you wanted either. We didn't get an interesting casting choice, and she's not a star. So it's like, it's just so interesting. As much as I love Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn, I just was expecting more from the casting announcement, but they could be great. I just feel like it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely see. It's interesting because, and I feel this way about X-Men First Class, but the new Fantastic Four movie is going to be a movie set in the 60s, but won't really talk about race. That's a little, in the movie in this era, that's a little questionable in my opinion. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe the Fantastic Four are like time traveling to like save black people. I don't know. You know what I mean? But it looks like it's going to be some, which I love. I love the tone, like this, like science-y, like Bill Nye the Science Guy, like old school kind of thing. I love that. And I actually do want to see that. But yeah, it's a very big departure from what I think Trank was trying to do and diversifying the storyline a little bit.
Yeah, because I remember something that he said to us at the time was like, this is taking place in New York. When you go to New York and you look around, like, what are you going to see? You're going to see everybody. Yeah. So these characters should reflect that. And I think that's something that a lot of people should understand a lot more.
I also feel like it has a lot to do with, and I know, I don't know if you guys are on TikTok as much. No, I'm the old man and I'm on TikTok a lot, but there's also a huge, something that I've been made more aware of. And I'm seeing it with House of the Dragon. I don't know if you guys watch House of the Dragon as closely as I do, but the fact that there is this kind of emphasis to ignore Black women and almost kind of like pat yourself on the back for even hiring one Black woman. And in the book, there's a specific character who's written as a Black woman and who is a Black woman, and they completely cut out her character in the show. And I do feel like Black women for years have been talking about being ignored, being underpaid, being put to the side when they put in so much effort in other stuff. And yet they are the least to be heard in a lot of situations and the most to be disrespected. And I do feel like time and time again, we see that happen over and over again, even in properties where they're literally written in the book and they're still like, oh, we already have a Black woman, so sorry. It's rough. It's really, really rough. So yeah.
Well, with that, to transition from that conversation, we have a white woman as our guest on the next clip. No, I'm just okay. That was a terrible transition. But no, the Josh Trank episode is actually our second most famous episode that we have, and which thank you, Josh Trank, for that too, and thank you for Sabrina for really facilitating that too. But recently, our first most popular episode became our Lindsay Ellis interview talking about her book, Axioms End, which I'm gonna be honest with you, Andres, I still haven't finished the book. You know what I mean? I still haven't finished the book. But I did buy the sequel on Audible, so she got that money. She got that money.
There you go.
Yeah. No. So I enjoy. But that interview was phenomenal. She was very informative, and she talked a lot about. I think what she was kind of talking about, Andres, of how studios being reflective towards, discourse that they hear online and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, she was one of the OG YouTube critics, and she kind of was talking about, hey, maybe what I started was not the best idea. Maybe the legacy that I leave for all the other YouTube critics is not the best. So we have a clip of that coming to y'all right about now.
I've been a huge fan. We've both been huge fans of you for a long, long time. And you got your start obviously in online criticism, specifically like centered on YouTube. Do you feel like there's been a benefit to kind of democratizing the title of online film critic for the internet? Like, what do you feel about that?
I have mixed feelings on it, to be honest. I feel like people mistake confidence for being good at a thing, and they're sort of like, we've had a lot of discussions on like the Dunning-Kruger effect, like in politics, but I think that's also true of online criticism. Like, there will be these people that like perform the affect of knowing what they're talking about, and if they conform to some people's bias, that can be all they need to do in order to amass really big followings. And that can, and actually, as I was tweeting about this today, is like, like, I have mixed feelings about my own history, like in the early shouty man days of online criticism, because I feel like I've kind of inadvertently contributed to this sort of really toxic media criticism environment, where there's just like a lot of bad faith, like Ben Shapiro style nitpicking, like taking the text really literally in a way that kind of leaks into the movies that get made. Like I think I talked a little bit about that, like the Beauty and the Beast video, about how like the creators of Westworld like saw a Reddit thread that guessed a plot twist, and so they changed the no, I think that was in Game of... Well, it was like a video I did about how, like, creators are responding to fan interactions, and, like, how Disney movies will almost kind of make, their films with, like, these sort of bad faith criticisms in mind, and so they kind of lose their magic in that way.
Yeah, so that was Lindsay Ellis. Great conversation that we had. Amazing conversation. Thank you, Andres, for carrying that conversation, because at the time, again, I didn't finish the book. But, I was able to slip in some, like, real-world questions in there. But, yeah, I feel like what she was saying back then was still very relevant to this day, right? Like, we definitely still see movies and TV shows that feel almost, like, produced by the fans. Like, or some finales that are like, okay, y'all just straight up wrote this with, like, a fan base in mind. I don't want to take too many more shots at Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't want to, upset people who are already mad at me about that. But
hey, don't back down. Be you. Stand by your words, because I agree with you 100%.
Right. So we all agree it sucks, right? We all agree is.
Oh yeah.
Those fans though, holy shit! Like, I'd never thought saying, "Hey, this movie wasn't good," would get me that much hate.
Do you not remember? Because that's all I said. Well, do you not remember when Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, and I was being very nice about it? Like, I was being very kind about my like thoughts on the film, and I think I rated it like a 6 out of 10, which is very generous in my opinion for what it was. And I know you guys like it a little bit more, but people were mad at me. I don't know what the like. It's like so hard to hear people disagree about something that you love, because I'm not saying, like, even for Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm not saying you can't love it. I just hated it. I hated every second I was sitting in that theater besides Channing Tatum. I thought he was funny as hell. Besides that, that's all.
It was really bad. And I'm hearing people say it's the best movie of the year, or it's the highlight movie of the year. And I'm just like, I just felt like I watched one of worst movies of the year, or I've seen, to be honest, at this point. It was that bad. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like the way we're looking at films now, a lot of my pessimism has come true. And I feel like these movies are becoming the prime example of it. Not to mention, we already talked about the casting as well. I just feel like we're regressing so much when we should be progressing. And the fact that TikTok has now made these film bro even harder than before. Like now they're broing till they bro and they bro till they die. Like they're just ridiculous at this point. Like all these film talk dudes, I cannot stand any of them at all. And I feel like we are kind of inspired by guys who inspired them because we were a part of it. We were a part of it with Schmoes.
We were literally
and now it's edited. We were literally in it. And now we're like seeing the repercussions of it. And it's like, I have become death. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. For real.
Yeah, it's fun times though. I mean, I feel like, and it was so funny, Sabrina. It's funny you mentioned the Justice League review, because I did go back for that one specifically to look for a clip where he said something bad or something, just something. But you literally were positive for the majority of it. Like the most 90% of the review, you were being nice to it. And I was like, what are they hating on? Like there's mad comments that were just all over you. I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah, because I kept saying with everything, I'm like, I respect Zack Snyder, and I still haven't watched Rebel Moon, and I think part 2 already came out, and I think the director's cut already came out. I can't keep up with that. Like, again, all the respect to Zack Snyder. I think his situation, which we talked about so much, set such an interesting precedent. And again, it goes back to fans having control over what's released or like what this end product looks like, even though of course, the Justice League was originally released. People were calling for like David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Who wants that? No, who actually wants that like at all? And so I know it's memed out now. You know, whenever people say like something's cut or they did this or this character was in this movie, everyone's like, release this cut, and it's like a meme. But yeah, it definitely has a lot of weird repercussions for the future, and it's interesting to see how it pans out.
Yeah,
for the present, I feel seeing it right for a lot, and I feel like again, I just feel like stifling creativity in favor of appealing to bigotry, hatred, or just lack of creativity whatsoever. It just in general is a bad way to do art and to do movies, and movies still should aim to be art and aim to be something. And I just feel like we're losing that more and more. And it's grim. It's really, really freaking grim out there. And I just feel like giving into that side of the world and giving into this kind of perspective is just not the way to do things. Showing a person, I will never agree with someone showing a person who exists on screen and saying they're pushing an agenda simply because they exist. I will never agree with that. And I just feel like it's insane to even consider that to be an argument, because a person existing is not a political statement. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, even going back, I can't stop talking about it. I might have even mentioned it already on the stream, but it kind of, again, reminds me of like the Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom casting, because it's like, you know, this is the character, this is the actor that started this. Everybody, some of the biggest moments in the franchise as a whole, out of like, what even is it at this point? Like 27 movies or maybe even more. Of course, his I Am Iron Man and his Snap and I Love You 3000, like all of these things that are celebrated because of this character, because of this actor. And then to have him come back and play a different character just because then maybe they can secure butts in seats, I feel like, at least. I feel like that's like the most creatively bankrupt decision that Marvel has ever made. As much as I adore Robert Downey Jr. and I adored him as Iron Man, I just cannot see how you have like your coolest villain and you're going to waste him on like he's right behind me, isn't he? Robert Downey Jr. Like, you know, those types of like humor jokes. Like, I don't know what he's going to bring to this character. It could be so different, but it's just based off the news alone, like it doesn't entice me at all.
Nah, that's very real. That's very real. And I think, you know, yeah, with that, I don't even know. I'm gonna hold my hands up and throw my hands up and just hope for the best. I also tried. That also reminds me. I tried pulling the clips from our Infinity War review on Dress. And that one, it was almost the opposite problem. There's too many conflict clips in that. It was like too many clips of us arguing. I couldn't compact it all into a 1 minute 30-second thing. But yeah, it was crazy stuff though. And I don't know if you had anything else to say, but I did just want to read a few more comments. I have one more clip I want to play. But before I do that, I just want to read some comments if that's cool. Yeah, nah. So again, thank y'all all for tuning in. All 9 of you. Your love and support is great. Please like, share, comment. Y'all, the smile. I was trying to be earnest. And make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. We're gonna do another one of these when we hit the 10K. You know what I mean? Maybe, hopefully. And
10K.
Yeah, 10K subscribers. 10K.
Oh,
subscribers.
10K subscribers. Yeah,
10K subscribers. Not 10K views. That'd be atrocious. That'd be really sad. And then we have Raul. Shout out Raul. Raul Mendoza says, the best channel for movies, man. Nobody doing it like y'all. Always proud of y'all. Thank you. Wiley saying the intro music to The Meaning Of still go hard. Appreciate that. Ronan Unchained, Felice, 2 million views. It was fun to see y'all at Comic-Con. Bravo. Oh, yo, we did run into this dude. You remember that, Andres? Ronan? Yeah.
At the Blurred and Bougie.
That's right. Yeah, at the Blurred and Bougie. Exactly. Joseph Weeks, RB3, I missed the indigenous white man impression. Oh, the indigenous white man. No, I'm not doing that again. Then Wiley said a lot of fantastic movies under the Silver Lake. So yeah, recommendations. Yes. You know, we did give. You really put a lot of people on under Silver Lake, Sabrina. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Wiley and I chatted about it all those years ago. I feel like we were the only 2 people on this planet that saw the movie like a few months after it was released. Because I know by this point it kind of has like a cult following. I will never forget going to like the Los Feliz Theater, which is right by Silver Lake. I was the only person in the theater that day. I went on like maybe a Thursday or a Friday night, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., something like that. Nobody saw that damn movie. So shout out Wiley for that.
Yeah, Riley a real one. Riley been a real one for a very long time. So we appreciate that. Unhealthy Vegan says, any plans to do another in-person podcast? Maybe soon. Maybe, you know, we can work it out. We can figure it out. You know, we might get back to, you know, we might start virtual then get back to in-person. You know, we'll see. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out. And then other ones talking about the Paramount TV studio just shut down. And then Healthy Vegan said AMC Movie Pass, the only way I get to theaters. Healthy Vegan also said Deadpool. No, literally, the AMC is so good. Deadpool was the best theatrical experience of the year for me, but definitely not the best movie of the year. Still have love for y'all, even though y'all hate the movie. So thanks for still showing love. And
that's how it should be.
Yeah, no, it should. Yeah, positivity, yo, positivity. And yo, for Unhealthy Vegan, for that comment, and for being the only one who commented on our Bad Boys Ride or Die video, you just won a Bad Boys for Life 4K Steelbook Blu-ray. I am shipping this to you. I know you live in LA. I could literally just bring this to you, homie. But yeah, you won this. Congratulations. And yeah, we have more Steelbook giveaways still going too. So, and Wiley said, there's nothing I hate more than on TikTok than the Imagine ones where a guy just says the whole movie then tell people to watch it. Oh, there's somebody on TikTok who does that to be spoiling the movie?
Dude, I just feel like it always happens. Like they'll sit there and they're like, so Hunter Schafer is living on a resort with her family, and then Dan Stevens is a crazy German nature preservationist, and then they just like lay down the whole thing, and then they're like, so you should go see Cuckoo. And I'm like, is there a audience? Clearly there is an audience for it, but like, damn, why don't we tap into? I wish we were sellouts. I know I said this years ago. I wish we could.
Yeah. We were. Yeah, I was just thinking of this the other day, man. Why? Because I saw so many TikTokers at an Alien premiere. So many. And I was like, bro, I could have had like a 3-bedroom apartment. I could have been living it up. All I had to do was just get on TikTok and talk about this movie. Because again, Arbitrary, you and I, we were in this game like way before talk or film talk became a thing. And if we just jumped on it like head first, fully just did random videos for every single freaking topic we can think of, I think we could have been like spending money right now.
Oh yeah, we could have been something. We could have been something.
And now we broke, man. And now halfway broke,
partially. But we getting back. And and we get into the top. And then I got shout out Kay. Kay left a couple comments. Congratulations on 2 mil. Here's to 20 million next, indeed. And also, Kate also said, I'll never forget when Rob and Ace started First Cut around 2018. The passion and love still go strong. Question for the crew. What movie has changed you the most in the past 5 years?
Wow, that's such a good question.
Yeah. 5 years.
So released in the last 5 years. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Well, technically, because 5 years would be like 2019.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'll say Parasite for me. Parasite really was a game changer for me in a lot of ways. It definitely made me look at the creative process a lot different. That's one of those movies that you could tell they storyboarded every single shot super precisely. And you know, as somebody who was just graduating film school, for me, I was like, yo, the way this movie is so precise, so intricate, but also still funny and has life, like that one to me did a lot for me.
I feel like there's a lot for me. I would say Past Lives is a recent one that I'm thinking of right now. A lot of like Past Lives, Minari, One Night in Miami. I really feel like One Night in Miami hit me in a different way, in a way that I really did feel was special. And then Belle, it's an anime movie. A lot of the anime movies I really love. For Dunk is another one that I talked about, one of my favorites. But I would definitely say either One Night in Miami, Past Lives, or Minari for live action movies.
Gosh, those are so good. I would maybe say After Sun. I think a movie has not made me like, just kind of like, I feel like it hit my life in a perfect time. It made me reflect on everything, everyone around me, everything that I have, my own life. So After Sun, I saw The TV Glow as a recent one, and I know we still have to chat about that movie, so I don't want to say too much there. Portrait Lady on Fire was another. And then Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always from a few years ago too. Oh, yeah. I thought that was a real, like these are just the ones, because like even when I rank the films, I might have something above some of these. But those are ones where I walked out of the theater knowing, I mean, I'm a dramatic person all the time. So every time I walk out of a movie, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like a different person. This changed me. But those are really the ones that I feel like after I saw them, I just had something new into my life to think about.
Yeah, no, indeed. Yeah. Unhealthy Vegan said Origin, Robot Dreams, which was amazing. That's an amazing film too. Past Lives and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Kay said Past Lives.
Where'd you see
Parasite?
Where'd you see Robot Dreams at?
It was just playing at like a local AMC.
It was okay.
It was for a week. It was literally for like 1 week. Yeah.
Because I wanted to see it. Yeah,
it's cool. I mean,
I see it anywhere.
It's cool for me. Yeah. It's beautiful. The fact that it has like no dialogue and beautiful animation too. It's great. So thank you for Kay for that amazing question. Did you have anything else, by the way? Or?
No.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying we're closing out, but I'm just gonna transition into one more clip if that's cool.
Let's do it.
Because that was a great question from Cade. Cade, of course, had our show Netflix Roulette on the channel for quite a bit of time. And I just want to take this moment to shout out everybody who we've co-created shows with on the channel throughout our time. Whether that is Kay with Netflix Roulette, whether that is Emma Fife with Sabak the Block, who else am I? Ben Goddard for the Attack on Titan, and a lot of others. I mean, we've done so many amazing shows over our history of First Cut. Oh, and Wiley left another super chat. Let's answer that after this clip, because I just want to say that another co-creation that we recently put out and has been really, really fun has been Real Ones that I do with my man John Marin. We do Real Ones every week, and I'm actually having my little Anthony Mackie toy right here sitting next to me, because next week we're actually talking about the Anthony Mackie Spike Lee film She Hate Me. That movie is amazing and bonkers and hilarious and terrible all at the same time. It has a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, and we're going to do a very deep dive on it. But the one thing that even though we've all four of us have never done a show together, me, Andres, and John did a review for American Fiction together. But with we all kind of have a universal disdain for Quentin Tarantino on this channel. I think that's pretty universally agreed on between all of us. And my boy John articulated his Tarantino disdain in the most succinct 60-minute clip that is hilarious. So I'm going to play that clip, and just shout out to all the co-creators. I'm even going to make a video for everybody when we do our next party. You know what I mean? When we do a next party to celebrate. But this is one of my favorite clips from Real Ones on First Cut.
Listen, I got my little nitpicks with him, okay? Even down to his homages. He be ripping whole scenes off of films. It's like, fam, it's a complete ripoff. Like, you didn't even try to throw in your little thing there. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, bro. I'm not, whenever he starts talking, I can't respect that shit at all, dog. I can't. Like, yo, he's literally, I don't know if Spike was being shady into that on purpose, but he's literally the guy in Girl 6.
Right.
Looking for the range of Angela Bassett. We're looking for the total game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, this movie is going to be big. Bigger than big. Huge. Greatest romantic African-American film ever made. Directed by me, of course.
And I'm gonna make the greatest black film directed by me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who he think he is. Because, boy, he did Jackie Brown the next year. Right. And that was like a blaxploitation film, a Quentin Tarantino blaxploitation film, which I said is cool. It's a cool film.
I
but
like it a lot.
You know what I'm saying? But still.
Yeah, that was Real Ones. Again, I know Tarantino's in the news right now. Clooney has some words to say about Tarantino recently, which is just funny. I
didn't hear what did he say?
George Clooney, he just said he next time he sees Tarantino, he wants to square up. They got to fight. They got to swing it out. You don't mess with them.
I'll be right there with you, George.
Right.
Same, man.
Basically, I'm there to instigate the fight.
But I swear, man. Yeah, go ahead, Sabrina.
I was gonna say, you know what? I've been hating on Tarantino since I started with you guys, and prior to that. But the new Bev and the Vista, he has been doing really great things, because the Vista was one of my favorite theaters, like pre-pandemic, and it was closed for years. He bought it, he reopened it, so I'll give him credit there. Say one nice thing.
I feel like, I don't know, man. I could write a history book on Tarantino's overhypedness. I don't know, the most overhyped director of all time, guaranteed. I just feel like taking from just the way he takes from Eastern cinema, and it's supposed to be an homage, but every time it just feels like he's just taking it and then just taking credit for it in a way where, and then he's disrespectful to like the creator of like kung fu films, like one of the most inspirational figures in all of Hollywood, which is Bruce Lee. Yeah. And he doubles down and triples down on his disrespect. It is just like, you're never gonna get on my good side again. And I just feel like he's like the most overhyped, overindulgent director living right now. So shout out to Marin for agreeing.
Yeah, and you're not wrong about his hype. You're not wrong about his rapidly passionate fan base, because that clip on our Instagram page has over 1,000 comments of people just absolutely like SHITing on us for our take on that. So definitely a highly engaged Tarantino fan base was not rocking with the Tarantino criticisms, but that's what we do. That's what we do on First Cut. We keep it honest. We keep it honest. You
know what's funny as hell? When somebody because I have a friend who hates Charlie Kaufman, hates like their movies, whatever. When she tells me like her opinion, I'm like, Yeah, I get it. And then I just like move on with my life. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. We should care less about what we all think, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. People are weird, man. People really, People get so mad at me for the Deadpool Wolverine one. That's what I really like talked about, because I felt like there's a lot of stuff I don't like, and I've said this a million times. I don't like a lot of stuff because I know I have a reputation of liking stuff. But that's because I go out of my way to talk about the stuff I like. It doesn't mean I like everything or I don't dislike anything. But the stuff I dislike, I just don't want to preach it to the choir. I don't want to talk about it, tweet about it, and constantly rant about stuff that I didn't care for. But there's a lot of stuff that I really just don't appreciate and like that a lot of people do. And I just ignore it and I move past it. I don't dwell on it and pretend that I'm going to get mad at everyone for not liking what I like, or vice versa. Because again, this is the Rise of Skywalker like biggest defender. You guys saw me. I had my sword out, my spear, my helmet on, preaching and going to war for this movie. And yet every day on the internet, I'm told it's the worst movie ever. So who cares, man?
Yeah. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to tell you that. Yo, Wiley Todd. Thank you
Wiley,
for your new donation. Here, I'll go ahead. Do you want me to read it? You got it, Andres?
Yeah. What's your favorite needle drop soundtrack in the past couple of years? In my capstone paper for college, movie soundtrack to talk about After Sun, Saltburn, and Priscilla. I feel like we had a similar one a while back. But what is one that you guys think of right now?
Recent years, I want to say Complicated, because I would have said After Sun as well, because I think like a really successful needle drop is like when you hear that song moving forward, you think of that scene. But since Wiley already took mine, I know we share a lot of the same tastes. I'll say Complicated from Bottoms. When that hit in the movie, like I absolutely loved it.
Bottoms was good.
Yeah.
Past couple years, I mean, if we're thinking past couple years, I gotta keep shouting out Guardians 3. That has so many good needle drops. The one when they're in space, floating in space, I thought that was a good one. The Space Hawk song. I thought oh man, wait, hold up. I can't do this conversation without mentioning the Batman. The Batman, the Nirvana song. That gotta be, I mean, that's untouched. I mean, the way they handled that was right at the beginning and then at the end with the violins, like double chef's kiss. Mwah, mwah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That's a great one. I'm with you on Guardians 3 as well. I definitely feel like when I heard Florence and the Machine, Dog Days?
Yeah, that was great.
Lost it. And it was the last song in the movie, and I was already in tears. Like like my face covered in snot and tears.
And it's like a pet movie, like it's an animal movie. Yeah. So
it's an animal lovers movie.
Yeah, it really fit. I was like, yo, that's sweet, James. You did that.
That's a great one. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do it.
What?
Deadpool and Wolverine. I hated every needle drop in that. I hated every part of that song, and I tweeted this out. But as soon as I heard "I'm with you," I was like, "It's a Deadpool night." I was like, "Bro, you got me back." For those 5 minutes that song played, and then you lost me with the win.
Yeah, that one, and then Iris by the Google Dolls, like that was really good. I went with our friend Mikey Chu, and we were just like slapping each other every time there was a good song. So that's like the one thing I will say. We also had many margaritas beforehand, so made it more enjoyable. PIMP from Anatomy of a Fall too.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, and then for Something in the Way from Batman, I remember we were covering, God, what was that Warner Brothers thing that they would do?
Fandom. Yeah.
DC Fandom, yeah. So we were covering that for Geeks of Color, and we were doing a trailer reaction. So of course we didn't know they were going to have this like Nirvana needle drop in it at all. And so we're filming this live, and we get it up immediately. And the second it started, like the doom, doom, I go, Nirvana. And then everybody in the comments was praising me. I felt so smart because I knew immediately, because that was actually one of my favorite Nirvana songs of all time. So yeah, people were giving me credit.
Nah,
I was informed.
You deserve that. Yeah, because that definitely, the way that needle drop, just like, even both in the trailer and in the movie, it just really set the tone for like what this film is going to be. It's going to be dark, it's going to be moody, but it's also going to be kind of fun too. And Andres, you mentioned the one, never mind, I forgot already. But yeah, it's, man, so many good needle drops recently, so many good ones.
Do you have
we got Tarantino Stan in the chat saying Tarantino the GOAT, Quentin, top 5 directors of all time, overhyped, you're delusional. Okay.
Yeah,
sure. Just another example of what you were talking about, RB3. Coming from our IG into this.
Right,
it's weird.
No.
All the respect, though. All the respect, Madrid. Love what you love.
Yeah. Did you have any other clips, RB3?
No, that was it. That was all for today. Again, I'll do much more of a comprehensive, beautiful video when we hit 10,000 subscribers. So y'all who are watching right now can help us get there by liking the video, commenting on the video, subscribing to the channel, following us on social media at First Cut TMO, which Sabrina created. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys. I appreciate your guys' time. I appreciate you guys taking the time to join us for this. I appreciate the 2 million views. This was a great idea from RB3. RB3, where can everyone find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3, and you can find me this week, hopefully on Real Ones. We're going to be talking about She Hate Me. Again, hilarious Spike Lee movie. If you want to see, a sex comedy that's also a political whistleblower drama, that's also like a meditation on capitalism, all wrapped into a 2-hour and 13-minute movie. She Hate Me is on YouTube. Get ahead of the podcast because it's going to be fun talking about it with y'all. So She Hate Me this week on Real Ones with Anthony Mackie.
And then Sabrina, where can everyone find you?
You can follow me on Twitter and TikTok at Sabrina on Film, and then Instagram at Sabrina.onfilm. I love the Anthony Mackie.
There you go. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Squad Leader A's. You can find my reviews at Geeks Color as well. I'm going to be talking about Alien Romulus a little bit more. But either way, guys, for the First Cut Live crew, we're going to be peacing out. So peace, deuces.
Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath.